Hi guys, today I thought I'd show you a video of what I'm using in our quilt along and show you that you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive stuff. You don't need a rotary cutter. You don't need expensive fabric. You're just starting out. You don't want to use expensive fabric on stuff that you're going to mess up, because you are going to mess up for a lot of times before you get good at it. And you don't want to be wasting $15 on a yard of fabric that you're just going to ruin. You might not ruin it, but start with cheaper stuff. It's not the greatest, but your first quilt is not going to be an heirloom. So I wanted to show you, I bought 2 of these for our quilt along we're doing. I only bought one originally, but I went back and bought a second one because I added an extra row of squares. We're going to do 4. I've actually bought about 5 of these. So you could buy a 1 yard pack, which would save you a little money, but I like the smaller ones to work with when I'm making stuff. I don't like a big bunch of fabric, but I did buy, now I bought 2 of these. This is going to be my back fabric. I bought 2 of these of 2 yards each. You can get it off the bolt and just buy 4 yards if you want. That's up to you. So you just need some fabric. You need some pins. Or you could use the Wonder Clips if you want to. But again, pins are cheap. You can get them. You can get all this at Walmart, really. Because, like I said, you don't want to buy a lot. You might make a quilt and find out you don't like it. And then you've spent money on the cutting mat and the rotary cutter and hundreds of dollars on fabric, which you could spend anyway. But so I just want you to go cheap on your first one. So you need a good pair of fabric scissors. Probably the most expensive thing you'll buy as far as tools go. A good pair of fabric scissors. A pen. I don't know what I've done with my ink pen, but you'll need, if you get the, what's it called? It's terrible. Friction, that's what it's called. This one's orange. But if you get this, you can draw on your fabric, and then when you iron it, the heat will take the lines away. I recommend it. You will also need a ruler. Just a fabric ruler will work. You could get, I have this one, which is, I actually bought this to use with my Cricut. But it could, if you had the rotary cutter, you could do that with it or use it. It does have the 1/4 inch seam. I'm not sure where I got this, so I can't really help you there. It does say Creative Grids by Rachel Cross, if you wanted to look it up. But it has the 1/4 inch there, so you could lay it on the edge of your fabric, kind of like this. And then you could draw the 1/4 inch line. If you're not sure if you could sew a 1/4 inch, you can just draw the line and then sew right down the line. The next thing is, now I get these, actually I get these from McDonald's. In their boxes of sauces, there's a layer of this cardboard between each layer of sauces. So I get those, and they're pretty big. I can cut out my, it's a 9-inch square, the ones I'm using in the sew along, really. But if you don't have that, you can also just use cereal boxes. Cut them up. They're pretty sturdy. You can cut them up and you can make your patterns out of it. So you could draw your pattern out, and then you can cut it with the, you do want a good pair of fabric scissors, because a bad pair of scissors will shred your fabric. So I do recommend this. You could even get the pinking shears. It makes a little V cut through them if you wanted to. It would help stop the shredding on the side. But you don't have to. They're a little bit more expensive than these. These work just fine. But this is what, now obviously, this is what I would recommend. Now, obviously, you would need thread. And again, I just buy, you're not going to need all cotton thread starting out. Buy a roll from Walmart. I have a white one, but it's on my sewing machine. And then I bought a red one to go with it. Just 2 colors. You don't need a bunch. You're just learning. You might not even like it. You might love it. And then when you get better at it, you'll buy the more expensive fabric, or you'll buy the rotary cutter and the rulers and the mat and Now I have it, but I've been sewing for a while. So yeah, just go with the basics starting out. I also have these little scissors, and I love these scissors. They're curved right here. So when you go to cut thread from the thread off the end of your, oh my goodness, the piece you're sewing, you can go like that and you can cut it and you'll clip the thread, but you will not clip your fabric. See, these, you could go in there and you could very easily pinch up your fabric and clip it. These, like, no matter what I'm doing, I can't do it. I recommend those. But these are just the basics, and this is what I recommend, and this is what we're using in my sew along. If you're following along, or even if you're not, if you're doing your own blocks, buy a book with a bunch of different blocks in it and try out a bunch of different ones. Find out what you like. Find out what you don't like. Start simple. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Let me know if you have anything else you would recommend for people starting out. And please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.